Hello, in this lesson, topic 2.10, we're going to take a look at order of operations. And one thing we can think about is an acronym that can help us to know the order of the operations. And that acronym is BEDMAS. So the B for BEDMAS stands for brackets, so we do anything inside brackets first. The second thing we do is any exponents or square roots. And then we have division and multiplication. Now for division and multiplication, if you have them both at the same time, you're going to work them in the order in which they appear. So you're going to work from left to right if you have both of those operations. And then lastly, we're going to perform addition and subtraction. Again, if you have them both, you're going to work them left to right, doing them in the order in which they appear. So here we have a problem to solve, 3 plus 4 times 2. And in this expression, if we don't know order of operations, different people can solve this differently. So let's see how student 1 solved this problem. Student 1 first added 3 plus 4, giving 7, and then multiplied by 2, so they got an answer of 14. Whereas student 2 first multiplied 4 times 2, getting 8, and then they added that to 3, giving a result of 11. So who's right? Well, BEDMAS will tell us who's right. In our BEDMAS acronym, it lets us know that multiplication comes before addition. So student 2 solved correctly because they multiplied 4 times 2 first, and then added. So 11 is the correct result. So just to remember that BEDMAS is a memory tool. It's an acronym that helps us remember the order in which we have to do our operations. So brackets or parentheses comes first, followed by exponents and square roots. So whenever you see a number to a power, or you see the square root symbol, that will be coming at the same time. And then division and multiplication. Division is not better than multiplication or higher in this order. So if you have them both, you work left to right. And the same with addition and subtraction. You work them left to right if you have both of those operations. So remember, dividing and multiplying are equal operations, and addition and subtraction are equal operations. Let's take a look at a couple example problems to get comfortable with the order in which we have to do things. So we look at here we have 2 and it's sitting really close to this bracket. That means 2 is going to be multiplied to the result of what's inside that bracket. And then inside the bracket we have 5 plus 9, and then we have minus 7. So BEDMAS tells us that we need to solve the brackets first. So we're going to focus on solving 5 plus 9 first, which is 14. And I write the answer down below, and then I copy the rest of the information from above so that I can stay organized. Now I have 2 times 14 minus 7. In our BEDMAS, multiplication comes before subtraction, so we're going to do the multiplication next. 2 times 14 is 28, and then we copy down the minus 7. And now we only have one operation left, so we perform that. 28 minus 7 is 21. For example 2, we see that we have brackets, and we have 2 sets of brackets. I'm just going to write the BEDMAS just so we can stay on track. So the first thing we're going to do is solve anything with brackets. So we have 4 plus 3 in brackets here, and 6 minus 3 in brackets on the right. So we can solve both of those first, and then worry about the other operations after. So I'm going to add 4 plus 3 is 7, and 6 minus 3 is 3. So now I've cleared the brackets. So those brackets are gone. Now I can write down everything else. So my times symbol, and my division symbol, and the 7. So I copy that below. Now I have multiplication and division left. Remember, if you have division and multiplication, you work them at the same time, left to right. So 7 times 3, we're going to do that first. That's leftmost. So that's 21. And then we do the division because that's on the right. So 21 divided by 7 is 3. So let's do a few questions together. Sometimes it's the very smallest order of operation questions that people make mistakes on because they're just naturally primed to read left to right, so they want to do the work left to right. But here what we have, we look at our BEDMAS, we have addition and we have multiplication for number 1. So our BEDMAS tells us that multiplication comes first before addition. So we need to multiply 3 times 5 first. And that gives a result of 15. Now we can add that 15 onto the 7, giving us an answer of 22. Number 2 is a longer order of operations question. The longer they get, the more careful you need to be. Sometimes you can slow down a bit. And what I like to do is I like to show all my work underneath so that it looks kind of like a tornado or a funnel by the end. So we have 7 plus 3 in brackets times 4 divided by 2 minus 5 times 6. Definitely we can't do all of that at once, so we're going to take it one step at a time. The first thing we're going to do is our brackets. So 7 plus 3 is 10. And then I copy everything else down just so I can stay organized and then assess where I'm at now. So now I see I have multiplication, division, subtraction, and multiplication. We know that division and multiplication are the same in terms of their order, so they're equal. But if we have them both, we're going to work from left to right. So the first thing we're going to do is this multiplication here, 10 times 4. That equals 40. Now I write everything else down so that I can reassess. Again, I have division and multiplication, and I have subtraction. Subtraction's going to come last. But because I have both division and multiplication, I have to work left to right. So my next one is 40 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is 20, and I write everything else down. Okay. Now I have 20 minus 5 times 6. I have subtraction and I have multiplication. I have to do the multiplication before the subtraction. 5 times 6 is 30, and I copy the rest down. Now I have 20 minus 30. We've been here before. This is going to be where we can use same, change, opposite. So the 20 stays the same. I'm going to change my subtraction to addition. And the positive 30 is going to change to become a negative 30. So same, change, opposite. Now I have 20 plus negative 30. I have more negatives. How many more negatives do we have? We have 10 more negatives. The answer here is negative 10. For number 3, we have a lot going on, but what we need to focus in on is these double brackets here. You see how the outside brackets are squared off? That's because we have curved brackets inside of there. So when we have this situation, what we're going to do is clear the inner brackets first and then work on the rest to clear the outer brackets. So we're going to do the 5 minus 2 very first because those are inner brackets, so we need to clear those. So 5 minus 2 is 3, and then I write down everything else that's inside those brackets. Now I can solve everything inside these outer brackets, starting with the multiplication, because I have addition and I have multiplication, so multiplication comes first. Remember, we stick to our BEDMAS always. So this is 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 7, that's 16. So 16 is the result of all of those brackets. Let's copy everything else down so that we can stay organized. So everything else is going to be brought down now. So this is going to be 7 times 2 plus 16, because 16 is the answer of all those brackets, minus 4 times 2. It doesn't look beautiful, but it works. I'm going to be able to see what I have now. Just going to erase this 16 and make it look a little bit better in the middle there. Okay, so now we have multiplication, addition, subtraction, and another multiplication. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the multiplication first, because multiplication comes before adding and subtracting. So we can do 2 multiplications at the same time. So we're going to do 7 times 2 is 14, and 4 times 2, which is 8. Now it doesn't matter if you say that's negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. That's okay, you're going to be fine. I try to keep the signs out of it until I see where I'm at. So I just take the numbers, 4 times 2 is 8, and then I write down the subtraction sign, the 16, and the addition sign. So now we have addition and subtraction. So when we have both of those operations, they're equal, so we're going to work left to right. So we're going to add 14 plus 16, which is 30, and now we can take away the 8. So our final result is a positive 22. So when you're doing order of operations, it's lots of fun, but take your time and make sure that you're not slipping out of the order.